Greetings everyone, my name is Veterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Maker. During the last part, I completed 8 levels that were shared in the Mega Maker official subreddit's weekly level sharing thread for August 16th through August 22nd. And just like the previous part, I'll be using that same place and play at least 5 or 6 levels. As usual, I loaded up all the levels that I haven't played before that have been shared on that thread, and placed them in random thing picker to choose some levels. Now I did pre-screen some of the IDs to make sure that they actually exist, because I realized that 3 of the levels I picked in my initial set didn't exist anymore, they were delisted. At least now I can make sure that the previous part won't happen. I'll always pre-screen the random IDs I get to make sure that they actually exist. It's kind of unfortunate that they get delisted. Now, as usual, my apologies if my critique seems a little bit harsh at times. I just want to make sure that we become better Mega Man designers as a whole in the future, in our future level design endeavors, because making a decent or good Mega Man level is very difficult, much harder than it seems. I learned this the hard way during my Megamble time and other ventures. First up is Knightman's Castle, created by TheShadowRanger, 23 plays and a score of 8. That seems like a good start. So I'll mainly be commenting on the level difficulty progression, how well the different gimmicks are introduced, as well as enemies, as well as checkpoint placement, and a few other things, whether if I'm enjoying the stage and whatnot. Okay, we started with the Mega Man 2 Wily Fortress intro. We have the Mega Man 5 or 6 charge shot, and we can slide. Good. Let's try getting across the Sniper Joe, Hammer Joe. So we have Metal Blade, Crash Bomber, Plant Barrier, and the Rush Coil. That's a good start, I suppose. I'll probably just go switch back to the Mega Buster so I can actually charge shot my way across. Okay, we have some nice platforming over these bottomless pits. We have this crazy cannon. Okay, solid difficulty progression for now, nothing too difficult. Now we have these chasers. Good thing I have the stuff like the Metal Blade to deal with them. Not to mention I can deal with these turrets by using the Metal Blade. Oh, this segment. I really wish this was introduced in a better place, aka not over a bottomless pit. That would be nice. We're also forced to use the Crash Bomber here, so if we run out of energy, well, we're going to have to repeat this segment, or we're going to have to repeat this stage, so I wish there was a place we could actually farm for weapon energy. Hopefully I won't need to reuse the Crash Bomber somewhere else. Let's see, I just want to restock pile on this. Hopefully I don't need to use it later on, like I said. Okay, solid difficulty progression, although I really wish that the gimmick with the Sniper Joes introduced in a safer environment. Same with that Plant Man platform. Well, not Plant Man platform. Those platforms originate from Stone Man stage, I think. I suppose this is supposed to be like a fortress stage. That explains why it's a little more challenging than it would usually, like a normal Mega Man stage would be. So I won't fault the developer for that. Let's take the left route up. It does lead to some extra Crash Bomber energy, so I do approve. Oh, we're also forced to use Crash Bomber in order to take this route. Oh. Never mind, this leads only to an M-tank, so I'm just gonna backtrack. I really don't want to risk myself to getting there. Actually no, the barriers dissipate, so I'll take the risk and get across. The M-tank may be useful after all. So I'll kill myself over here, and so I can death warp back to the beginning and then quickly make my way across the other route. So yeah, this route was only for that M-tank. An extra life and weapon energy, so wasn't as useful as I expected it to be. Oh, thank you for the weapon energy drop there. Oh, okay, so they can actually deflect my shot if I set it up too high. The crash bomber, that is. Still a solid level difficulty progression, even though it doesn't really introduce gimmicks in a conclusive way or in a safe environment. But I suppose this was supposed to be a fortress-like stage, so it makes sense. Now let's climb up the other way and open up all these 3 crash bomber gates. You do need all the special weapon energy in order to get across, and if you don't, well, you're gonna have to either farm it, restart the stage, or just use an M-tank. Oh, I see what I need to do here. Well, I needed to jump there. I didn't expect it to go all the way to the left. And it appears that the crash bomber gates actually respawn. I really wish these gates or barriers stayed destroyed after restarting the stage. Otherwise, you'll have to keep wasting crash bomber energy in order to get across. Hopefully that'll be fixed in a future update. Game update, I mean. A little bit precise there, but I made it. Also, thank you for putting a checkpoint there. They really should also be adding different gate types for different scenarios, so we can use the weapon energy for other things. So we don't need to rely on just the crash bomber energy in order to get across. That would be really appreciated. I'm just gonna spam my Mega Buster so I can easily get across, especially because of all the spikes at the bottom. Of course, I could always use damage boost in order to get across, but I'd rather not take the risk. Sure, I don't mind this type of careful platforming, it's just that I hope it's not too precise. As long as it's not too precise, I'm fine. After all, the stage's challenge isn't too bad right now. It was only that one segment that threw me off a bit. But like I said, my main complaint would be that if you run out of crash bomber energy, you'll either need to farm for it or restart the stage entirely. I really wish there was a place you could actually farm crash bomber energy. I also wish that they actually used different weapon energies or different special weapons for different barriers or whatnot. Like this could have been like a plant barrier block instead of a crash bomber block. That was an odd lag over there. If only Mega Man would actually face in the direction I want him to. It seems that that lag spike only happened just as the game reset its... when the game just reset for the musical loop. Let me see what this leads up to. Oh, I see. I can do this extra challenge for an extra M-tank. I'll avoid the challenge and just go straight for the boss fight. This stage certainly took longer than I expected it to, but okay. That's not fair. To be fair, I did need some extra health. Okay, now it worked. For some reason, the first time it just shunted me in the pit. You have a bit more challenging boss fight against Knightman here. I'm just gonna use an E-tank here and just kill him that way. Of course, it's going to be Crash Bomber. What else would it be? And that was the end of Knightman's Tower. Pretty nice fortress stage, I suppose. Certainly more challenging than most stages on average, but it was fun. Although I really wish they used different weapon energies for different barriers so you don't end up getting stuck. Knightman's Castle, I mean, so good job, TheShadowRanger. Next up is Crystal Crisis by TobyJoey. 31 plays and a score of 14. I remember that name from the Gamble too, so we have something good in store. Well, both of the 2 levels before had a score greater than 5, so I suppose they'll be at least pretty solid or decent. Okay, we're in Crystal Man's background. And we have the Super Ball Cannon. Mega Man 4, and we can slide. Let's see. Okay, a nice number of weapons too. Nice introduction of the falling platforms here. And now we have the challenge here. Always nice when the developers introduce each of these gimmicks in a safe environment and then does it in a more dangerous environment and in different configurations. Like before we had just that hopper, now we have this Super Ball Cannon with the bouncy balls. And down here eventually, and now we have the bottomless pits. Nice difficulty progression, always appreciate when that happens. Yeah, now it's in bottomless pits and with these uneven hoppers. Also, the enemies were introduced in a nice, easy fashion, or not so dangerous fashion. Like first the hoppers on solid ground, roughly, then the Crystal Joes at the solid ground, etc. Okay, now we're in the ground. Good thing they put the blocks there so you could react to it. Let me take care of this Crystal Joe first. Or not take care of it. I need to reset the room, I didn't do it correctly. I could just use the Magnet Missile in order to destroy it, but of course, it's going to be lured by all those crystals, unfortunately. Or of course I could just use a charge kick and make my way across. That way I can just circumvent this challenge, but I do appreciate the developer gave me that option, that I could circumvent the challenge if I really want to. And we're at the boss fight right now. Okay, this was certainly a short stage. Didn't mind it too much though. Okay, what is his weakness? There's a lot of... No, that's not that. Magnet Missile, of course. And that was a fun stage. Although it was rather short, it was certainly easier than the previous one, and it was solidly built. Good introduction of gimmicks, although the stage could be taken a bit longer with more difficult platforming segments with all those falling platforms. Still, good job, TobyJoey. And I see they made a bunch of other levels after that. Next up is Me-n-tal Man, or Me-n-tal Man, by Inox. 4 plays and a score of 0. So we have Metal Man, but he's gone mental or something? I didn't really get the description of each level, so unfortunately I don't have access to that. I suppose I will get the description of each level next time I use the level sharing thread, either from the main site, Discord, Twitter, or the official Reddit. Okay, we have all these foot holders too. I wonder if there's a secret I can use in order to get by. Yeah, there is a secret up there. Magnet Beam. Thank you for putting it there. That was a bit scary over there. Oh, okay, so this is a pure platforming challenge in order to get across. Oh, never mind, I need to take the upper route if I wanted to actually get across and, well, advance with the stage. If I got stuck on the left side, I wouldn't be able to make it across, and then I would have to repeat the segment, or just use a Magnet Beam in order to get by. Really want more Magnet Beam energy just in case. Oh, I could have also damage boosted in order to make my way across. That's neat. I'm just curious if that leads to a alternate pathway. I won't test it out though because I really don't want to die. Really wish I could see below me and see what challenges are there, so I don't do blind jumps or blind falls. I see, because we have the water falling here, it'll boost my jump height so I can get across. That's a neat challenge. I really want to get that checkpoint. I'm just gonna use this. Okay, so the path leads... Oh, I see there. Oh, we have multicolored versions of these rollers. Okay, so the left route will actually lead to the point of the stage that we can continue on. that was my fault, but I was running low on life energy anyway, so let's go down the other route. A little bit pixel precision to get down over there, but it's not too bad. Kinda strange why we have those Mega Buster blocks, but okay. Oh boy, that was a close one. It was almost like a Kaiser trap there, but at least I was able to turn in mid-air over there, so I wouldn't turn in mid-slide, so I didn't die. And a little bit of pixel precision jumping here, just like I kind of had a similar one during my Conveyor Madness stage. And now we have Yoku blocks. Wonderful. Okay, I just used this to make the challenge easier, but it's fine. It's certainly a more difficult stage, especially with the precise Yoku blocks and all these spikes. At least the Yoku block patterns aren't too jerkish, that's for sure. Still, there's nice clever usage of going through the waterfalls in order to increase the jump height, and then jumping out of the waterfall in order to progress onwards, or to get normal gravity. Really, the main challenge of this stage is jumping in and out of these spots so you can get more stuff, or you can get to the other segments. Nah, I don't need another E-tank, hopefully. Let's just go to the boss fight. Never mind, it's another footholder segment. Oh, I needed to take the bottom one, it seems. Okay, this is gonna be... Thank you for stopping me in mid-air. Oh. No wonder he's called Me-n-tal Man. At least it takes a huge amount of damage from my charge shots, but I only have the Mega Man 4 charge shots, so this is going to be a bit more difficult. So falling below is almost a guaranteed instant death, unless I can jump up on the bottom footholder. And hitting Metal Man is going to be its own challenge, of course. Yeah, that's what I meant. I really need to stay on these footholders and wait for Metal Man to jump up so I can actually hit him. This is certainly going to be quite a challenge to hit, but he is really fragile, so that's the trade-off, I suppose. He's really hard to hit, but he's really fragile. Alright, I did it. I got him stuck on this footholder, and I just button mashed him to death. This was certainly a huge step up in difficulty compared to the previous parts of the stage, which focused more on precision platforming. I really wish there was a little bit less of a sudden lurch in difficulty at the end, but I still enjoyed Me-n-tal Man's stage. So good work, Inox, but still I would like a little bit softer difficulty progression, because the boss fight at the end can be more challenging than it seems, especially because of Metal Man's spastic maneuvering. Next up is Force Your Way by Cheeko, 12 plays and a score of 3. And it seems that the boss fight is going to be Knightman. Okay, Mega Man 5 Proto Fortress stage team. Wonder why it's called Force Your Way. Is it because of force beams? Once again, in the next few parts, if I do choose a level using random ting picker, I'm going to at least give a description or leave a description of the level if the designers gave it. That would be another nice introduction to Mega Maker, that being giving the level designers the option to leave a description of each stage in the submission, so everyone else can see it when they decide to choose the level. It can be limited to like 200 or 500 characters just to save on space. And that failed because for some reason my jump button didn't work. Way too close over there. So we have this segment. Unfortunately, Skull Barrier won't work, specifically because there's no spikes. Okay, I need to be careful so I don't accidentally destroy the ground, which I need to progress on. Pretty nice. Pretty nice so far. Okay, fair enough that... Well, the difficulty progression is a little bit off though, because that first jump was a bit more challenging than the next few jumps. And now we have all these junk blocks that we have to worry about, and we're underwater. Okay, we have the Puka Pellies, we have a drop coming up now. And we have all these... Whoa! We have all these spikes everywhere that are going to try forcing us into the spike pit, or the spikes in the ceiling. Okay, a little bit quick reflexes over there, but nothing too bad. Thank you for putting the checkpoint. All the levels in this part really have good checkpoint placement, I'd say. This spike looks a bit odd, if you were to ask me. Looks like it's broken or half, or something. So now we're going up the upper pathway and trying to not get knocked off or something. And now we have these count bombs combined with these tellies, and now we have to jump across so we don't get knocked off. The batons. We have the Metools, or Metars, I mean. The Metools are the Mega Man 1 stationary Mets, I suppose. And the Metars are the Mega Man 2 onwards that move. At least that's what I think. So now we have these Skull Seekers, whatever, from Skullman stage. Now with the junk, so we have the junk platforms here. We have to take care of this tackle fire. I just need to make sure it goes far enough so I can actually jump, make the jump. Make sure not to jump over there. Slide over here. Be careful with the Galaxy Man teleporter so I don't get shunted off. Okay, so now we take care of the caterpillar by teleporting to the left and right. And now we're in the snow segment for some reason. That Crystal Joe is a little bit hard to see in this background versus against this background. Still, it's about an even difficulty progression outside of the first few jumps, which are harder than the rest, I would say. Still, my favorite part of the stage was, of course... Oh, why did they spawn immediately as they entered the boss door? That's odd. My favorite part was avoiding all the spikes and having to go left and right when descending. That was certainly fun. And there were all the gimmicks that were trying to force me into the spikes on the left and right side of the wall. Let me guess. No, good. Now it's okay. Now it's rolling cutter. Of course, it gets deflected by a shield, so I need to do it behind him. Was it rolling cutter? I think it's rolling cutter. Yeah, it's rolling cutter. I sometimes confuse it with boomerang cutter from Mega Man X1. Okay, certainly a fun stage, though a bit more challenging. Good work, Cheeko. Alright, time for the 5th level, Sunset Peaks by LaurelThrone. 13 plays and a score of 2. Thankfully, none of the stages in this part have been bad. At the very least, all of them are decent to average. Well, I would say all of them have been decent, with solid difficulty progression, level design, and level gimmicks, although some of them are certainly better than others. Like, the Mental Man was pretty fun up until the boss fight. Force Your Way was also a pretty creative stage, so that was nice. Okay, so I suppose we're going up a cliff, and now we're gonna climb up stuff. Oh, and now the stage is a bit stuttery too, so I suppose it's a longer one. Oh, okay, grabbing onto that ladder saved me, it seems. Good thing I have Mega Man 5 or 6 charge shots. I'm just gonna take the hit and get across. Just waiting for that crazy cannon to switch his firing arc, still get hit anyway. Oh, nice preview of what's coming up ahead. That's neat. Just be careful so I don't get instantly killed by the spike drop. I probably should have just gotten back up there and taken the drop on the right side. And of course this is following Mega Man Classics checkpoint, so there wasn't a checkpoint over there. Okay, only Firestorm and Rush Coil. It isn't too far back, so I don't mind it. Really wish the stuttering issue will be worked out in a future update. I know, I'm kind of beating a dead horse right now with the issues with... Whoa! How did I teleport up there? I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse with the starty levels, but I really like that to be fixed so that larger levels can be properly played. Okay, this time we're gonna follow this way and we can get across safely. And now we're in the jungle portion. There really should be a checkpoint over here nearby. Because after all, we're in a new section. Okay, there is, just a little bit later. I'll take the large life energy, the small life energy pellets. But I haven't used my special weapons much, so I'll just go straight down here. Nothing to the left, just a lone mat. Really wish I had the spike barrier here. Skull barrier, I mean. Firestorm time. So I can easily just take care of all these picket men. Let's see where you... Okay. It seems the path is diverging here. Oh, I can either go left and upwards, or I can go to right and complete the stage or something. Or take an alternate pathway. Let me see what's over here. I'm gonna take the left route and see what that has to offer. Sorry for the interruption there, something came up. Okay, so this is one of those stages with a lot of alternate pathways, I suppose. So I think I'll need to go to this stage again in order to see what it has to offer completely. I'll probably just use the level editor in order to get directly back to where I was. And now we're up here, so... Okay, so we're back outside, it seems. We entered the mountain, and now we're back at the peak. I was hoping I could clear the gap, or clear that jump, but apparently not. Huh. Wow, there are a bunch of alternate pathways, it seems. I will have to come back to this level then. Yeah, I'm getting confused by all the pathways now. I'm definitely going to have to use the level editor to see where each of them links up with each other. Never mind, this is just for extra goodies, but still. I will have to return to the bottom mines and see where the bottom pathway takes me, as well as this bottom water route. Almost got telefragged there. Just wait for these Tetris pieces in order to despawn, and then I can get back up. Yeah, these look a lot like Tetranormal pieces, if you were to ask me. Now I just need to get a... Oh, I didn't make it fast enough. There's something to the left of here, too. I almost thought that for a second that a cloud was solid ground, but no, it isn't. Oh, interesting, we have to fight Metal Man on the left side of the stage. I mean, we have to get down, it seems, because he just jumped out, but now we have to avoid all of his metal blades, it seems. Okay, now we can fight him properly. His weakness is not, of course, that. It's the Firestorm. Oh, thank you for putting all the tellies there so I can recharge my weapon energy. Unfortunately, the Metal Man is very jumpy, so hitting him is going to be a little bit difficult. Unless, of course, I time it right. And that was the end of Sunset Peak, Pathway 1. This is going to be another one of those stages like Tower or Castle Siege Breach. Well, this is certainly a fun stage. Let me download the stage. Go back all the way to my level builder. Load the level. And go to Sunset Peaks. Alright, let's see how... Okay, even the editor is a bit laggy. Where do the pathways lead up? Okay, this goes down here. And this leads up to here. Oh, neat. If you went to the left, you would actually be able to fight all these picket men. I'm not sure what purpose would all these picket men are. Large life energy. Okay, and these were all the top men, all of these shotman trees. Okay, and this leads up... Okay, this leads back all the way here, it seems. Nice level editor music, though. So let me go place myself back right over here so I can complete the stage. The alternate pathway. It seems that the level designer Laurel really thought out of multiple pathways to complete the stage, so bravo to them. This is becoming one of my favorite levels out of the bunch that I sampled in this part. I'm just gonna ignore all these and damage boost on my way all the way up here. That's not... I really wish that bug will be fixed eventually. The one where you can end up falling into a bottomless pit, you can get lodged into the wall. Okay, and this leads up right back to where I was. Let's see what would happen if I had taken the upper route. Oh, it's just a straight downwards path, never mind. Okay, this was certainly a fun stage, well constructed, nice difficulty curve, and I really appreciate how there are actually alternate pathways for replayability. And it's not always clear where they exactly lead up to until the end. They're really divergent is what I'm saying, and I really appreciate it. Alright, 6th level on the lineup, Arabian Nights by Baramos. 8 plays and a score of 1. So let's do this. I think I played a level by Baramos before, but I'll double check by checking his profile after this. And of course it's in Flame Man stage with Fireman's team. I don't know why they didn't use this Flame Man's team. And of course we have fire teamed enemies. Too bad we don't have the oil gimmicks of Flame Man stage. That would've been fun. But I suppose that'll be for a future update. Yeah, if there's one thing I wanted to talk about this game, or I'm now realizing more and more as I play more and more of this game, it feels like this game is... The current release feels like an early access release, if you were to ask me. It's missing a lot of content that I really think it should have been in the initial release. Like the Megamel 2 engine's beta release, at least so that people could submit their Megamel 2 levels, that was at least more full featured and had a whole bunch of other... had all the tile sets from all of the games, most of the objects and most of the enemies from Mega Man 1 through 6, but this one's missing a bunch of them. And that one I think had more bosses too, I'm not sure though. Okay, okay, we have all these, good. So this doesn't feel like a full-featured release, more like a test release. But I suppose that'll be ironed out in the future. Hopefully the developers are smart enough and fast enough that they can add new content as quickly as possible. Because I think that's the real thing that's needed in order to extend the lifespan of this game. It's nice and all right now, but it really needs more content in order to feel like a full-fledged release. But I suppose it'll take a few updates for that to happen. Not to mention there are a few oddities, like you saw earlier in the part, where I somehow teleported to the top of the ladder, as well as weird glitches that may crop up, like if you build a level and edit one, and then you search for a level at the beginning again. Oh, we're taken back to the beginning of the stage. There really should have been a checkpoint over there. there was also the fact that if you try editing a level, and then you search for a new level using an ID, instead of the play button being there, the edit button will still be there. That shouldn't happen, it should be switched back to the play button, as well as a few other oddities and issues that really contribute to make this feel like it's like a beta or early access release. It's still fun and all, but like I said, there should have been more content on release. Now I'm going to take this a slower route so I don't end up falling into the pit again by getting hit by that telly. I certainly see why it's called Arabian Nights, but I really wish there was more fire or oil gimmicks, but sadly, they are not part of the engine yet. Are we at the end of the stage right now? Or is it just a checkpoint? Okay, it's just a checkpoint, good. Time to climb upwards. If there's another thing about this stage, it feels like I'm continuously climbing upwards to a new parts of the stage. It's like I'm going up a tower or castle. Let me just use the magnet missile to deal with this tackle hothead easily. Or of course I could just use the Pharaoh shot. Or the silver tomahawk as well. It still takes a bunch of hits in order to destroy them though. Especially because I don't think that Roadmaster weaknesses, or rather enemy affiliations or interactions with specific Roadmaster weapons are added. So it just directly subtracts the weapon's damage from the enemies, whereas in certain other Mega Man fan games, certain enemies would be weak against strong or weaker against certain Roadmaster weapons or special weapons, but here it's just direct. At least that's what I get the impression, that is. A lot of beaks over here. Text and beaks, I suppose. But if I go slowly, I can get across much more easily. I'm just rushing it, that's why it's a lot more challenging. I'm getting a lot of large life energy, so that's helpful, both from pickups and both on the ground. Yeah, I'm getting really generous random drops in terms of pickups. Okay, now we're in a segment where we need to jump across these oil platforms and all these hotheads. And we have to worry about getting hit by all these batons. Okay, we made it across very well. It reminds me of the previous water treatment facility stage, or rather Outlaw Trail, where we had to do a similar thing, although there was much harder. This is already turning out to be a longer Mega Man stage, or a longer stage than usual. Because by this point the stage would have been over. I should really take care of the techs first, because they're a big annoyance when trying to deal with these tackle fires or hotheads. Still, the developer was kind enough to leave all these weapon pickups and life energy, so I'm not complaining too much. Okay, we're finally at the boss fight against Stone Man. This would have been more appropriate if it was someone else, aka Flame Man. What are you weak against? No. Not you. No? Okay, it's Silver Tomahawk. This weapon isn't too inconvenient to use. And that was the end of Arabian Nights, certainly on a stage more on the challenging side. It seems half the stages I've covered so far are a little bit more on the challenging side. But it was fun, although there should be some work done into the challenge progression so it's a little bit smoother. And, well, some more checkpoints, at least between the start of the stage and the first checkpoint, there should be one more. Otherwise, I really like the checkpoint placement and I think it's fun. But it was certainly a longer stage compared to the traditional stages, so there's that. Oh, you made Outlaw Trail, that explains a bunch. Wait, is it the same outlaw? Yeah, it is the same outlaw trail. No wonder that earlier segment reminded me of that segment. Although I liked Outlaw Trail more so, I felt that, well, Arabian Nights was kind of a bit too enemy spammy with all the cannons and techs. Though that may be just me. Then again, the developer did hand me usage of the skull barrier, so I probably should have used it more. Next up is A Tower of Time by MrMacTwentifree. MrMacTwentifree. 27 plays and a score of 8. But like I said, at least none of the levels were too frustrating to go through, and even some of the more challenging levels were still well constructed. My favorite stage was of course when I had to travel through that mine in Sunset Peak. Well, outside of the mountain, then inside the mountain, into the mountain, and then finally outside to the peak. Okay, we have a lot of enemies here. That tidal fire is going to be annoying to deal with. Oh yeah, another feature of the Star Crash is that it allows you to jump as if you have space physics on you, or water space physics. So that'll allow you to circumvent some challenges. As demonstrated right here, I was able to completely skip that segment. Of course, I could have just used the rush coil if I really wanted to. And I have the flash stopper too, that's neat. So I could use this and circumvent this entire challenge entirely, because I can basically use water physics anywhere. Oh, I still got hit by that hothead. These rooms are rather cramped with enemies, if you were to ask me. The main problem, of course, are the combination of the hotheads and batons, which are annoying to deal with. And the crystal joes too, because of how invulnerable they are. At least the hotheads aren't annoying as the Mega Man 2 Sniper Joes, that's for sure. Those take way too many hits to destroy. Especially in the situations they're used in, or most of the situations I see that they're used in. I really want to get the the large weapon pickup, but that's going to be a problem with all these tackle fires, and especially the batons, but thankfully I was able to get it this time. Really, the thing that brings the stage down for me is the annoying enemy placement, mainly the batons more so than the hotheads, because if we just had the hotheads and crystal joes, it wouldn't be too bad, but with the batons it's a lot more challenging. Thank you for putting a checkpoint over there. Now we have all these hammer joes. I guess we're going down now. Okay, we have all these Puka Pellies and, well, Tellies. Okay, nothing too bad right now. It's certainly easier than before, if you were to ask me. But these rooms, if there's one thing about this stage, it's the abundance of enemies everywhere. That's the main thing I've noted about this stage. And really, this feels easier than the previous challenge where we had to avoid all these, where we had to go through those enemy clusters. Now it feels a lot easier. So you probably want to work out the level progression. Still, for an enemy spam level, or one that focuses a lot more on enemies, it's not too bad. Oh, I see what you want me to do there. So I'm just gonna freeze you right in place. And damage boost right through you. And I do like that each of these segments is separated by Galaxy Man teleporter. That way it makes more sense why we're going to disparate segments which are completely different in terms of tile sets. It's a good work there justifying it, or making it feel less abrupt. Okay, now we have the force beam segments. I took a damage over there. I thought it was going to jump up. Now we have the requisite Yoko block segment. Thankfully, most of the Yoko block segments I've been going through in the stages haven't been too jerkish. That was more my fault for not paying attention. but most of these haven't been too jerkish. They've been more on the fair side. It also seems that these small weapon pickups do respawn, so that's nice. Oh, I forgot. Can I do something like this? Oh no, of course it despawns it. Thank you for jumping over me there. I can do something like this and completely circumvent the challenge. Especially for longer jumps. I just gotta be careful so I don't end up bumping my head against another Yoku block. Thank you to developer for adding the star crash, and thank you MegaMaker developer for actually buffing the star crash so it's more useful. Always granting low gravity fields is a pretty strong ability if you were to ask me. It means it can be used in a lot more scenarios, like here for example. Because now we don't need to worry about instantly dying to this force beam and we can circumvent the entire segment. But of course the sad thing is that I lost access to that item. Also, thank you developer for directly illustrating that I need to use a rushed jet in order to get across here. I've noticed sometimes that level designers make a mistake of not making it clear that you're supposed to use rush jet in order to get across. And this is a new improved rush jet, so I can also slow down the pace of movement if necessary. Oh no. Okay, I got an error sadly, so the game crashed. Let's try this again, shall we? I used the level editor to get across here, so let's hope it doesn't crash. Good. I'll file that under bug reports again. The section switcher somehow crashed for some reason. So, unfortunately, I'll have to use the search feature again in order to get across and, well, actually rate the MrMacTwentifree's level. Tower of Time is certainly a fun stage, although it's focused a lot more on enemy-based challenges more than platform-based ones. I really want to take care of the that's the other problem. I really want to take care of it so I can get across without disabling that temporary platform. Well, another good thing by using the editor and skipping past here is I'm back at full life energy. Neat. I wonder if I'm close enough I could just make the jump by myself. Oh no. Didn't make it. The only problem is all these enemies. Oh, I made it up pretty well. Because of all these enemies I can't just easily circumvent the challenge. So there is that. There we go. That's how you're supposed to circumvent it. And I guess we're at the boss door now. Okay, force beams, and we have all those teleporters for some reason. What is his weakness? He's completely immune to that. Okay, Bright Stopper or Flash Stopper makes minced meat out of him, so I'll just use that. And keep him on this weird inverted neon style. So crashes aside, Tower of Time was certainly a fun enemy-based challenge stage, although some work should be done in the first challenge to make it a little bit more smooth, because the difficulty progression of this stage feels a bit uneven if you were to ask me. But it was fun, definitely. So let me just go over to your profile and rate it. Like I said, I really wish there was a recent levels queue so I didn't have to research the ID, re-enter it, whatnot. The recent levels queue can be just stored locally so it doesn't provide extra strain on the server. Here we go. I like the stage. Let me see what other stages you made. Oh, a whole bunch of them. Eventually I'll try out some of these other stages, but like I said, there'll probably have to be another part dedicated to playing levels by authors I already went through. Well, I suppose this is a good time to call it quits. I covered 7 levels in this part. Overall, I pretty much enjoyed it, although my favorite stage out of the bunch, if I can find it, is Sunset Peaks. That's the level which was my favorite. mainly due to all the alternate pathways and whatnot, and careful difficulty progression, and the fact that each alternate pathway feels distinct and rewarding to go through, and it really adds to the replayability of the stage. So good job on being the MVP level of this part, Laurel. So in the next part, well, I guess it's time to actually try out the random level feature. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!